Alrighty, happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome to week 5, day 1 of TCL. We have a marquee matchup of Team Front to Back versus Team Dad After Dark. Both teams 3-1, coming off a hot win. I'm joined here by our producer, Mr. Droid, and my co-caster, Tokamon Panda. Toki.
Thanks for having me. We're looking forward to an exciting matchup here. We had both teams coming off a strong previous week after a shaky 2 weeks ago for both teams. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
Who do you think's going to win tonight?
I don't know. I think we saw back in the Elusive show there, we saw an official prediction of a 2-0 in the favor of Dads After Dark. I don't know. I'm looking for a big Bard play here. I'm expecting at least one game to go down, but I can't say I disagree with the Dads taking the win here.
Yeah, I mean, I really can't blame him either, because everybody remembers the Footlongs.
True.
Really wiped the floor with Team Front to Back, 2-0'd them a couple weeks ago, and then last week we saw Team
Pretty
Dads
convincing.
After Dark just turn around and do the exact same back to the Footlongs. So order of operations tells us this should be a absolute bloodbath in favor of Team Dads After Dark, but we'll have to see what happens. Anything can happen.
You could easily run into a little bit of a rock, paper, scissors situation here. You never know.
Yeah, we very well could. Very well could. Hoping to see some new picks with the new patch out. Obviously the new items Hullbreaker and Anathemus Chains. Hopefully we get some spicy picks out of both teams. Maybe a Yorick from Mr. Bloodbath and Beyond.
A Yorick would indeed be spicy. We know there's also, granted, delayed until I think last week of the season here, but Tom Kench had his little rework, and we've been hearing some players very excited to unbench him in the coming weeks. Mundo, notably, is available as well this week.
Yes, I think New Mundo is a very powerful champion, and I'd really like to see Reformed or Blood both pull it out, but we'll have to see what happens with Wukong, Nocturne, Lulu, and Nunu right off the board right away. Any of those surprise you?
No, these are looking like pretty standard bans coming across here. I would not be shocked to see another top lane ban coming out from front to back, looking to isolate Blood there, pushing back a few champions in terms of comfort level. We know what a dominant laner he can be, especially when he can transition into that like mid to late game
Yeah, no,
steamroll.
definitely. And I'm actually a little surprised by that Janna ban, taking away from Spirit of Fate. And then Red Side Ezreal ban, all pretty standard.
Of course.
What do you think about the Janna ban? Are you more surprised they wouldn't go after something like his Bard?
I'm not shocked because there was a lot of controversy regarding the Bard, right? There were a number of really nice plays. There were a couple of somewhat questionable plays.
B1 Kaisa for
That's clear. That's a pick away from Abarn, of course.
Yeah,
they don't
definitely
don't want to give it the
from
ban, but
Kaisa with the Hail of Blades nerf and subsequent nerfs to the Champions kit as well. Is that really B1 worthy?
well, that's the real question. There is, I guess, they're taking. It clearly must be a champion that they were already interested in playing. Otherwise,
here
they
we
wouldn't
go.
be getting a B1.
Okay, Swiss Army Cabinet, very well known as a Thresh one trick, has an IQ test on the horizon. Will he pick Thresh into Morgana?
I kind of want to see it, frankly.
Ivanhover?
The Ivanhover is
Notably, they did fix Smite against Daisy, so it doesn't just one-shot it. That's just a
true,
tease.
but yeah, I have a hard time believing that DJ is going to go on to
Jinx,
something like
Jinx
Ivan.
Morgana. Just picked right away. And the hover of Ivan from Rook. Maybe
Pretty
a
standard
hover.
bot lane.
And Rook doesn't want to admit it, but he does have a super secret Smurf account where he only plays carry junglers.
Oh, really?
I hear it's a silver 4 account, 40%
Okay.
win rate. But it does exist, and he has those pocket picks.
Speaking as the resident silver player, I would not disregard, a silver carry jungler. But there it is. I love it. I love it.
We have
He
failed
says,
the
I don't
IQ
care.
test.
Oh,
It's okay.
maybe he's just too smart for this IQ test.
I mean, it's his most comfortable champion, so I get it.
I can always respect the comfort pick.
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely better than trying to force him on a champion he's not used to. But let's see what the final blue side pick will be for this phase, and unsurprisingly, a Zac.
Pretty standard
Zac Thresh
Joe
into
Zac.
Morgana. That's a little bizarre.
Ooh, and
The Elise hover. Caridian's just playing with us. I'd like to see them pick a jungler here.
Right.
Hide your mid and top, and then
No
maybe
need. No reason not to.
And
There we go.
Wow.
That's
Kane.
now red cane, blue cane.
As it stands right now, I'd imagine a red cane.
Right. Zac, pretty beefy boy.
Yeah, Zac, very
Pretty
beefy.
enjoyable.
You can just out-sustain him for some reason, because
Okay.
red cane passive is better than Zac passive
Of course.
with the blobs.
There's that Gwen takeaway
Gwen
from Blood.
ban from Blood. I like that a lot. I think Gwen's a incredibly strong champion right now. But Silas taken away as well. Interesting. Be interesting to see what
This has
Wojtek
got to
wants
be another
pick
top
mid.
ban, I believe.
Yeah, no doubt. I'd imagine
The question
it's
is it going to
probably
be
a set,
set is
maybe an
still
Aatrox.
interesting. Did not see that coming.
Wow,
Want
That's
to push Woj off of Annie. Something that he has been demonstrating, he has been playing recently.
I mean, Annie's a very straightforward champion. She has a flash go button with her flash R. Can be very
Hmm.
powerful when coupled with the Zac.
Outplay button, one might say.
Yeah. Summon Tibbers is very fun to play against. I actually I don't blame them on the ban because having to react to a flash anti-R as a Morgana is asking a good bit.
Oh,
We've got
definitely.
our R4 pick coming in. I'd imagine the
Ooh,
Mordekaiser, Reform Bully, pretty seasoned on this champion, one of his most
right.
played. This is a pretty straightforward pick.
I think, and we're expecting probably 3 healing cut items onto that Mordekaiser, right? Minimum.
Yeah, I believe he'll build sequentially Executioner's Calling, and then knowing Bully, he'll probably go for the Bramble Vest and then
Right.
Oblivion Ore Blast.
Likely,
Yeah,
likely.
because a triple effectiveness against healing. I mean,
Right.
that's
It scales
a,
multiplicatively,
just
I heard.
absurd value you can
Straight,
pick up
yeah.
there. And Darius coming up for Mr.
I like that
Bloodbath and
pick.
Beyond.
I like that pick a lot, and I don't think I have a hard time seeing Bully having a good time in this laning phase until
As
until
our
he gets to
resident
those.
top laner, what do you think of Darius into Mordekaiser just as a matchup?
Darius. It's basically when Mordekaiser got reworked. The first reaction I had was like, it's like, oh, this is Darius, but AP. Yeah, it just comes down to a skill matchup. Darius hits his abilities, dodges a few Mordekaiser Qs. It's kind of the lane in a nutshell right there.
Round,
Likewise, the other way though.
yeah, rounding out the comp, Cassiopeia mid, and Caridian hovering the Azir.
I like the Azir.
We saw him pull it out last week. He was very successful on it.
This is same matchup
Sans a few
actually, I
ultimates
think.
here. Yeah, this is Sans a few ultimates last week. He was very strong, but
True.
I think he's at his best when he just slow plays fights, takes what he's given, and doesn't try and force anything.
I also heard that when Spirit is not on Bard, but that was a third party rumor. I can't speak to the validity of that.
Just the old rumor mill churning.
Yeah, the grapevine, as it were.
A little bit of Marvin Gaye. But anyway, this jungle matchup, Kane Zac, I gotta be a super free early game for this Kane, which is exactly what you want when you're trying to get that transformation early.
Absolutely. Well, I feel like we can expect a little bit of aggression on the side of TJ, as per one
As
might
per
expect
usual.
from his typical play style, right? And
Mhm.
I think we can look for a lot of early pressure from the Zac. I got to believe that Joe is going to be looking to gank early and often, but the question here would be how much pressure he wants to throw into that top lane.
Yeah,
As a
Joe
top
is able.
laner, I love to see a gank against Mordekaiser pre-6.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. TJ was able to find a lot of success ganking last week on the Zac, surprisingly enough. Also bringing out the Rammus. We'll see if those results can be recreated in this game. But Kane, very difficult to pull off ganks with,
Mm.
unless their opponent's very overextended, right?
In particularly, early game, as Sans red transformation CC knockup, right?
Yeah.
That adds a lot of utility to your gank. Prior to that, I mean, where are we looking for lane to be pushing here? Frankly, I kind of expect Bully to be pushing into Blood if Blood wants to let him.
Blood as a top laner, generally speaking, likes to take those first couple waves into his turret. He's fine taking the back foot, and he'll just take his openings when they're given to him. And Blood, obviously, just being a very seasoned player, will definitely find the openings, and I'm expecting maybe a solo kill or two into Bully.
I'm thinking we'd be hard pressed to get through the first, I'd say, 10 minutes or so of the game without at least one or two solo kills coming across top lane, one or the other.
I would
Of
agree.
course, we can't see the summoner spells yet, but I'm hoping to see a ghost from Darius rather than teleport.
Yeah, provide him a lot more utility in fights, especially with the nerfed Stride Breaker, without
Okay, we're
having that
getting
dash. And we're just
getting
getting
information
info.
here that it is teleport on Darius.
So he will be struggling to get into those fights.
They're
But
definitely sacrificing some cross map pressure in the mid to late game potentially here.
Yeah, but he will have that TP to get back to lane in case any ganks are pulled off. But Kayn being such an early weak jungler could be very dangerous ganking that lane post 6 against that Darius.
Absolutely.
So we'll have to see how Bully plays it with his Death Realm usage, because you can pretty much, if the Darius makes the mistake of going onto the Kayn and Bully Death Realms Darius, it just
Before
takes
getting
away
that
all
5
the
stack
work.
passive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
take away all the damage he had just dealt to the Kayn.
On top of which, the Kayn can ult into the Darius, denying him his 5th stacks. And then, get even more free damage before the
Yeah,
ult starting. You've got a lot of
yeah,
options there in that gank.
the Kayn Umbral Assault can dodge the R as well, so it'll be interesting. I'm really looking forward to Joa's early pathing, Mr. Rookstout. See what he can try and find early. Maybe look to get Scuttle priority off of the back of Blood and Voidtech. Maybe get an early CS lead on TJ. Not let him really take off on that Kayn.
Well, that's a question here, is the Kayn is probably going to start chickens, right? So
Normally, yeah. So on that
chickens into
red
red
site,
buff,
he'll be pathing to his bot side.
right? So granted that Joa starts his bot side and moves north, they won't be set up for a meeting at level 3.
No.
But they'll be set up for mirrored ganks though.
And Barrier taken on the Cassiopeia and Cleanse for the Azir. Prevent those Thresh
Understandable.
hooks and Petrifying Gazes. Exhaust, Ignite in the bot lane. Notably, no heal
Ooh, on the
on the side of
side of
Spurg and
Dads.
Swiss. So that will be quite interesting to see how it develops. Standard healing knight taken by Abarn and Spirit bot lane. And TJ confirming our suspicions, taking Conquer on that Kayn, basically locking him into red Kayn form.
Absolutely. As far as keystones here, it's looking pretty standard. Got a few conquerors in the top lane.
Yeah.
Nothing, notably that nerfed Hail of Blades. Wasn't expecting anything else really.
Caridian just grabbing an early Mana Flow Band stack off the side of Rookstout in the mid lane. But
Always trading up.
just a standard 5-point. Joa in mid for whatever reason, but you know. We'll see if he gets another Mana Flow Band stack off of Joa. That could be a pretty large mistake, giving an Azir just 50 free mana to start the lane. But he will not.
Minions have spawned.
And it looks like Kayn just reset, got that early ward down, and swapped it out for Sweeper. Same with Spirit of Fate, so they will likely have a stranglehold on the early vision in this game.
Right now, there's something that's been pointed out repeatedly in the past week or so here. Spirit of Fate showing some real dominance in the field of vision score in
Yeah.
last week's matchup.
I mean, doubling his counterpart in the support role.
Well into the hundreds, I believe, right?
Yeah, I believe he eclipsed 100, maybe 102 to 48. I believe was the final vision score at the end of game 1. Very impressive.
Gapped,
Vision,
really.
gapped indeed. A vision score oriented player like that really can be useful to the game. Makes all of his carries life a million times easier.
Absolutely. All right, we're looking at a fairly even push so far in the top lane. Looking like Darius may be building up a little bit
Yeah.
of a wave here that'll be slow running into Mordekaiser's tower.
Yeah, and this is what I was talking about early. He might be looking to crash that cannon wave at level 3 so that Rook has that priority for that Scuttle Crab, but probably won't mean a whole lot as TJ will likely path towards his bot side after he finishes up these Krugs.
And there we see him going.
Yep, and he's just going to use his E to move on down to the bot lane.
All right, we saw a warning ping there from the side of red up in that top lane. Probably a little bit of communication there, letting him know. Side of Reform
Similarly,
Bully.
getting a large wave stacked up in this mid lane, likely timing it for the exact reason we were saying Blood was, to have that priority for Kayn to safely complete that Scuttle. Kayn doing a full clear of his jungle with Rook Stout skipping his Krugs. Standard stuff.
Yeah, that ward coming down from Blood there. Not sure on the side of Dad's After Dark where exactly TJ is planning on being around this 3.5 minute mark.
Yeah, that ward's a little interesting because Kane normally starts that top side. It's a little surprising that he would opt for that ward. Maybe assume a cheese gank or something of other, but just some little bit of trading out here in the mid lane. Wojtek
Any
getting
top
pretty
laner?
aggressive. Throwing out the Twin Fangs.
Any top laner can tell you that 3.5 minute mark is a
The danger
pretty much
zone.
ingrained in us to be expecting something up there, and any top laner who isn't is not focused on the
Brain is
game.
autopiloting.
That is
Actually,
for
brain
sure.
brain just not even on if you're not if you're not
Yeah.
ready for the 3-minute gank at top lane. But we see TJ moving towards Rookstout's Wraith camp, maybe to do a little counter jungling, but oh, he's looking for a gank actually on Wojtek. Blade's Reach missing. Just get a flash out of Wojtek. That'll be it. We got a gank. Oh, the stretching strikes landing. Death Sentence flashing onto A-Barn. Maybe a little bit of an overcommitment and a double kill for Spurg.
And here we're seeing those early ganks, that early pressure coming out that we were looking for. And it's looking like it's going in the favor of Dad's After Dark and Joa with that really effective gank in the bot lane there for a double.
Yeah, extremely. Just some standard trading up in top lane. Nothing too crazy. Bully pretty much holding his own. Just a minor 10 CS disadvantage, which is actually a good bit for 5 minutes. I believe Blood has perfect farm so far. Can you confirm that? I am not a laner, so I do not have don't have a whole lot of say on whether that's correct or not.
It's close. So here's the thing is, as the resident silver, I don't spend a whole lot of time around those numbers. But I think he is, yeah, farming. I don't know what that is.
Here we go. We have TJ looking for Blood in the top lane. It'll be before that level 6 mark. Nice dodge out of the E from Reform.
Very pretty footwork there.
He still has that E in. W's TJ.
There it is.
This is looking like a trade kill.
Oh, that's a big flash.
TJ. Looks like Blood's gonna go down. No, and he's just gonna walk away. Bit of a misplay by Blood. I believe he had a kill on TJ there.
That was a big flash from TJ, and I don't know if he misclicked onto a minion or what. Did look like he took a bit of a stutter step there and just got out of range.
Spirit taking the bad end of another trade, getting chunked to half health by the Kaisa Thresh there. Spirit boosting his vision score, but here we go. We got a repeat gank. A little bit of confusing order there from the Lantern and the Elastic Slingshot. But Spear with no Black Shield after he used to try to walk back into lane. He's got no flash. He's just going to go down.
Black Shield coming up too little too late.
He's got that Death Realm. Flash away from Swiss Army Cabinet. There's the Flay, and he Death Realms Spurg. Here we go.
Ooh,
I don't think
level
Spurg is going to be able to outplay
4.
this. Spurg still has the flash. Oh, look at that. The Dark Passage. Oh, that's a little bit of miscommunication, but he gets away.
That's a big Dark
Corinian just
Passage.
picking up a solo kill on Wojtek in the mid lane. We're going to have to see what happened there. Looks like he might have caught him on the way down. But overall, it's going to be a 1-for-1 in the extended fight. But 3-0 for Spurg. And Burns bullies TP as well, so Plate's going to be going down in that top lane.
And that's a big wave pushed under tower. You know that's going to hurt more than probably anything else here.
That is an absurd wave. Oh, that is horrible if you're bully. You TP, you don't get a kill, you lose what looks like a wave and a half plus a plate.
He'll get lucky here. He'll lose a minion, and then the cannon will tank the rest of it until he gets there. But
yeah, maybe
that's a lot of plate gold going over to Blood there.
Plate.
2 plates, yeah.
360 gold off those 2 plates. Let's see if Bully tilt misses the cannon. He gets it. Okay. Just had to be sure. But yeah, overall, it's already built a 1.5k gold lead for Team Dad's After Dark. Kane being on the better side of this farm advantage in the jungle, has that Iron Spike whip and already a very efficient clear, but picking up a 20 CS advantage while Rook was busy ganking and is built, I believe, an entire level lead on him? Have to check the XP to be sure.
Close to it.
And it looks like
Possibly
Yeah,
more.
it's an entire level lead after these camps go down, but TJ doing a great job farming efficiently, being able to build that level advantage on Kane. Really like to see that. Oh, but here we go. No time to stop. Let's see the Noxian Guillotine about to come out. Bully, no
Ooh, a
R.
missed Q doesn't matter.
Yeah. Ooh. This is now compounding interest for what happened with that TP down bot. Because you don't have your Death Realm to fight back against the Darius, and that is just...
And you have to wonder what happened that allowed Darius to get those 5 stacks up so early, and what appeared to be so early in that fight. And so
Yeah,
far up in the lane. Might come
not
down to just a bit of mispositioning.
not really sure, because normally you can use the Death's Grasp on Mordekaiser backwards
Right.
to kind of just get the Darius away, but maybe the Apprehend came out first, and... Oh, but here we go, Elastic Slingshot into mid. Let's bounce right on top of the ground. Caridian can't flash or cast any of his abilities away, but looks like nothing's gonna come of it. A little confused why Wojtek didn't opt for a flash Petrifying Gaze there, but regardless, Caridian gets to walk away, no cleanse burned or anything.
We've definitely been a bit aggressive, and frankly, I think as to Wojtek's typical play, I think maybe we could have expected that the flash are there out of an Annie pick. Maybe he's not quite as comfortable on Cassiopeia.
Yeah, good point. Probably why the ban came out. And here we go, top lane. 30 CS and a kill advantage on top of the plate gold. This is
Absolutely getting into that steamroll style of gameplay that we mentioned earlier there.
yeah, so this is becoming... Oh, here we go. Rook Stout down bot, contesting TJ on his
Giving a
prompt.
lot of love to the bot lane
Umbral
here.
Trespass coming out. Looks like Swiss is going to go down, and he goes down to the Super Mega Death Rocket. A Spirit also going to go down. Oh, but just barely gets away with his life.
Rook wants in with that
Oh
flash,
my
decides maybe
goodness.
not, and they're going to walk away from this one.
Yeah.
Aron picking up that
for their
kill from
troubles.
downtown.
Yeah, with the Super Mega Death Rocket. Interestingly, they don't opt for the Dragon. With TJ being dead, they just take the Scuttle Crab. But I guess with the chunked health bars, they didn't want to risk it.
Yeah, you know, that Jinx passive, you always got to respect it, and the potential for a maybe a quick pickup in the bot in the back end of a dragon play there, turning into a 1v2 for a double kill on Jinx would be a little rough at this point in the game.
Little disastrous. Yeah, that get excited passive can be so lethal in these fights. Just one kill just unlocks the champion completely.
And here we are setting up for that dragon again. It looks like we do have 4 members of front to back looking to make a play here.
Yeah, posturing down here.
Notably, neither top laners have teleport up.
Yeah, so none of them will be able to join the fray. And notably, Kane is available to transform into blue Kane, but not red Kane yet. So he's still locked out on that for a little while longer. But good pacing by TJ so far on the Kane passive to unlock that.
Yeah, that is always, you know, a bit of a bummer to not get that transformation that you're looking for right off the bat, but it's not the end of the world here.
And Rook Stout is pitching a 3-man tent down in this bot lane. Elastic Slingshot coming out. Nice Black Shield out by Spirit to keep Abarn safe.
I'm absolutely loving Joe's presence here in this early game. Absolutely making himself known.
Yeah, really trying to put his foot down. His mid lane, Caridian picking up yet another kill on Wojtek. Barrier burned, but no flash. Looks like a Shurima Shuffle came out as your Bloodbath and Beyond just walks in. Crippling Strike, Apprehend.
Ooh.
Here we go. Very low. Oh,
Oh,
that's
and he wants the flash
quite,
over,
not
but
quite
no
the
vision.
direction. Not quite the right direction, my good sir. As Spurred getting a little big for his britches down in the... Oh, what a kill!
Big for his britches indeed.
And he's on to
What
TJ.
a play.
Is he going to be able to pick up this kill? The challenging smite should do the work. As the Umbral Trespass picks up a shutdown for TJ.
Not quite enough there.
Spurred, man. Oh my goodness.
My lord.
No! The Super Mega Death Rocket steals the Ocean Drake.
Oh, and that level
and they get
7
Herald
mastery
too.
flash.
No!
And that swung back and forth a little bit, but coming out clearly, I think, in favor of front to back here with a big dragon steal.
Yeah,
from
all
Abar.
said and done. Oh god, and they get the Herald for TJ.
Big value
That is
out
a
of the Jinx
disaster.
rocket this game.
Yeah, Jinx Rockets already 2 for 2 and good usage. Abarn being able to pick up a kill and a dragon with each.
You know, there was a little bit of dissent earlier in the day regarding some power rankings that appeared in the Elusive show in the Tilt Boys Discord.
Ah, really?
And yeah, as a matter of fact, somebody else, I'm not going to name which bully it was, stepped up and filled in a hole for Elusive, who was busy for the week. But yeah, Abarn was not ranked as the #1 AD carry, and he had a lot to say about it. And I'm
Who is
thinking he's
ranked in
got a
front
little
of
bit
him?
more to say about it. You know,
Who,
I'd have to check on that. I'm not sure off the top of my head. I'll do a little bit of research and I'll get back to you.
Yeah, big proponent of not ranking Abarn first.
Always. Bad Barn?
Yes, definitely. But as we see that Super Mega Death Rocket's coming up very quickly, so we'll see if he's able to do anything with it. Notably, TJ failing to use the Rift Herald before the 14-minute mark, not picking up any plate gold when he could have dropped it mid and gotten a good bit for his troubles and put that turret down to almost dead. Maybe look for some opportunities to gank that Cassio one more time and take down first turret.
Yeah, and on that back note there, that would be Quantic that was actually rated above A-Barn.
I think Quantic had a very strong performance in week 4.
I'm not gonna argue with that one myself.
I think it's quite warranted. Here we go, Swiss Army Captain Spurg looking to roam onto David. He does not have that flash, but has that cleanse up. But Heridian smells something's up, but does he smell the elastic slingshot? Oh, Rook cancels it. Ooh, that's
Not sure exactly what happened there.
quite unfortunate. I believe he canceled the elastic slingshot as Blood 1v1ing TJ here. He's got that Noxian guillotine
power
up.
down.
I don't know if TJ wants to take this extended fight. Oh, but the Shurima Shuffle taking down Blood.
Wow.
TJ's gonna be able to walk away. That him. Oh, and the Super Mega Death Rocket. Little deceiving there. If it was from the side of blue side, it would have been a lot closer. And TJ opts to place the Herald now. Interestingly enough. Bloodbath and Beyond has teleport up, so Wojtek on a 0 Dark 30 flank as a Dark Binding comes out. Spurg goes down bot lane. Here we go, the chase is on. Let's see if the second Binding can land. Ooh, goes
And
just
some
wide to the
fancy
left.
feet.
Oh, but
Decides to
sentence
stick
from
around
Swiss
for
Army
the
Cat.
kill.
Questionable flash. The rocket follows for a delayed double kill for Abarn in the bot lane.
Man, I'm not sure if I should be... I'm not sure how I feel about that play.
Oh,
Like,
well,
that made me feel a lot, but I'm not sure exactly what.
it's almost as if Spurg may have not wanted to flash tower dive Caridian a little under 5 minutes ago, is the type of way I am feeling. But, hey,
Might not be too far off with that.
type worth in all chat. Is TJ able to snag away that Wraiths camp? But, hey, it's
Joa able to close that farm gap, at least in terms of raw CS numbers here.
Yeah, really to close that up. And in terms of an EXP advantage, it looks like Joa is around level 9 3/4, and looks like TJ is around 10 1/4. But TJ has his entire bot side quadrant up, so we'll have to see what the EXP advantage is after that. He might be level 11 after he finishes entire clear, but it looks like they're moving towards his Scuttle Crab, trying to take a stranglehold on Dragon Vision. He picks up that Scuttle Crab. Zap lands from Jinx. Rook's out once again, posturing. Dark Passage whisks Spurg away from any danger.
Blood putting out a lot of pressure onto the top lane here, taking a bit of a trade. That's 3 Darius stacks.
Yep. And Bully still having that Death Realm available. Shouldn't be in too much danger in that lane, along with the splated steel caps. Pretty difficult to take him down. On Dark Passage for Spurg, and Dark Binding misses.
There's that shield coming off from Morgana.
Let's see if Red Side opts to start this dragon up. Both top laners having TP up this time, so we might witness a full 5v5 as Blood
Darius
right
is
away
coming
casting
right
that
in.
teleport.
Oh yeah.
Bully a
like it.
little late on this play. It looks like, are they just going to save TP? Oh, no, look, it looks like he's going for a reset to TP right now. He might have that Riftmaker gold. But this dragon's already gone down.
Yeah, he won't make it for the dragon at least, if that's
Yeah.
what he was looking for.
Little bit of a misplay by Bully there, not realizing that Blood was just ready to pull the trigger instantly. Yeah, and he
You
picks
know,
up that
maybe as their
Riftmaker.
first dragon, that could have been a team play to seed that.
And Caridian might be in a little bit of danger here if Blood looks to turn back onto him. Voidtech being quite low, but he still has that flash barrier available.
Major
Blood
key
having
here.
that flash apprehend. Here we go. Let's see if it comes out.
There it is.
And the shifting sands away takes Caridian away. But
That's the
Blood,
big thing.
maybe. Oh, elastic slingshot down bot. Stretching strikes. Let's bounce. Broke that black shield from Morgana. Spurred using the killer instinct forward. Let's see, and they're gonna be able to take down Spirit of Fate with that final proc of the Kaisa passive.
Abar not able to get a passive reset there. I'm gonna have to just watch his support go down. Not a whole lot he can do in that
Very
situation.
unfortunate. And he lost the flash on top of it. Just brutal.
You know, Caridian looking very comfortable in lane here with a solid 20 CS lead, 3 kills and an assist over his opponent, Woj.
Couple kills to show for it, and a tower on top.
And there goes that tower, and he's got both his summoners up as well. He's
Abar,
feeling very comfortable.
I think you're kind of in no man's land without your flash or support next to you.
I think he might have forgotten it was on cooldown. And here we
looks
go.
like
Let's see how
Caridian,
comfortable
great
he's
shifting
feeling.
Stance, but the miasma keeping him rooted.
And he's moving. He's
able
out.
to get out of there.
And that's where you're feeling that lack of ghost on Darius, but that was
definitely
very well played from Caridian.
Really knee capture extended chase as a dark binding coming out on Blood. Abarn, not going to forget about that play bot lane. That looks like the third best AD carry at best, walking into that death sentence like that. Obviously, just friendly banter. Slight mistakes happen all the time. He's 2-2 with Spurg being 6-2, and a great death sentence again by Swiss.
This is
TJ
a big
having that
1v2 attempt here.
having the Umbral Trespass Smite and Flash Up should be okay in this.
That's a big ghost that exhaust there coming out from Swiss Army. And Spirit showing up with that Morgana binding. Huge. There's that teleport from Mordekaiser.
Oh, and here we go. Spirit might be walking into some danger. Rook, not having that Oracle's Lens up, will not be able to sweep it. This tower should go down quite easily. Also, Blood opting for that Black Cleaver second. Really trying to, I think, continue pushing this advantage in the side lane. Finally being able to push Bully out. TJ getting a little close to Voidtech there. No real danger for Voidtech with no flash or Umbral Trespass being up. Bully checking Baron with that Death Grasp.
You know, we're looking at less than 1,000 gold difference here. If production would mind swapping over to look at the individual gold, we're looking at a big difference in the top lane. Oh, yeah, just about 2,000.
And another large advantage in the jungle and mid in favor of team,
front to back.
yeah, but the bot lane discrepancy with a 1.5k gold lead for Spurg over Abar and his counterpart. You know, one guy I really want to talk about is Swiss has played extremely well this game into what's considered a counter matchup in the Morgana. It's been really impressive overall.
Yeah, you know, something we mentioned at the beginning of the game, never undervalue the comfort pick, you know?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Something to be said for really feeling your way on the champion, not having to use your conscious mind as much as being able to autopilot sometimes.
Oh, but Spurg, I really hope he doesn't finish. Hope he does not finish what I think he's going to do with that Executioner's Calling and Zeal.
Oh no, is that the that looks like the Mortal Reminder second item?
Yeah,
he does have a QS. He does have a
here we go,
QSS.
Elastic Slingshot onto Abarn. Oh, Killer Instinct right away.
Wow,
Spurg
Spurg not hesitating, really demonstrating the Killer
Spurg
Instinct.
is playing without hesitation. Sometimes a little too much, but really impressive stuff from him as well. Bot lane of Team Dads After Dark has just been on fire lately.
You know, hey, it's 7-3. I can't really criticize much about that gameplay. And Blood, I feel you on that missed E, brother. I don't know if I hit any the other week, but
Oh, but little 3v1 for Blood here in the mid lane. Not really in any trouble as Form Bully being in quite the deficit and all of their damage truly being... Oh, but
Oh, wow.
another nice death sentence. Wow.
And showing
Swiss.
some really admirable restraint on not taking that either.
Yeah. But here we go. We got, looks like a 5v4 at the Dragon Pit. Like to see... Oh, but
Ooh, Blood
hit
getting
by the...
pinched pretty hard
Oh, but
there.
stolen by TJ. Super Mega Death Rocket dealing a little bit of damage to Voidtech. Looks like Blood's in that death round on the other side, 1v1ing Bully, and he's gonna win out on that 1v1.
Blood
looks
putting
like
on an absolute
TJ's
clinic.
Oh, TJ may be able to out-sustain, but looks like he's gonna go down and Voidtech's gonna be able to live, but Aborn's gonna be able to pick... Oh, no! The Triumph saves him! Dodges out from the zap, and it looks like Aborn's gonna pick up a triple kill.
Gonna
Oh,
have
but
to
the
be very
re-engage
careful
by
with this
Team
Darius.
Dads. This is a potential penta.
Oh, this is Caridian's gonna get this for sure.
Yeah, it looks like...
Wow, with the
Arcane
Arcane Comet picking up the kill.
Oh my goodness.
I gotta really call out Blood's play there was beautiful inside the Death Realm with Mordekaiser.
But oh god, Rook not being able to smite the dragon on time. Really crucial. It's 2 big smites he's missed this game. Could have his team on soul point, but instead they're really on the back foot and about to be in a gold disadvantage for the first time this game, really.
You know, and it's
200 gold lead finally over to the side of Team Front to Back.
interesting you bring that up though, because the way Mordekaiser works on these objectives fights, you know, he hits that R button and all of a sudden that 2,000 gold advantage in the top lane is just gone, missing from the map. It's just gone from the map.
Yeah.
And then we really saw the presence that Abarn on the Jinx and Coridian on Azir here were able to put out on pushing Joa off the objective, really pressuring him on the smite.
Happy to see Spurg did not go into the Mortal Reminder and opts for the Phantom Dancer instead. Really good itemization choice. Phantom Dancer, of course, being extremely strong. Good to see him itemize on that over a kind of a bait item in Executioner's Calling. Sorry, Mortal Reminder, not Executioner's Calling.
Yeah, and I gotta call out.
And Swiss steals the Scuttle Crab with the death sentence. He can do no wrong.
He is just always feeling himself on this champion, and I love it. I love to see him play Thresh, and frankly, I really hope to see a Bard
potential fight as the Shurelya's Reverie is popped in the mid lane. But it looks like the Miasma dissuades any engage.
You know, another item that was visited with those movement nerfs in the previous patch.
Yeah, got really gutted with a loss of 30% move speed. So not really as strong as some people would prefer, but what Dark Binding landing onto Voidtech, kind of no danger. Dark Passage. Man, it feels like every time there's a little bit of danger, there's a Dark Passage just waiting for them. Oh, but TJ with the flash onto Voidtech.
Aggressive play really coming out for him.
He's just dead, really just pulling the trigger without hesitation. And with this kind of advantage, are we going to see Team Front to Back start out this Baron?
I'd like to see it. We've got Bully pushed up in the mid lane.
But
notably,
on top of the Scuttle Shrine, it's a little risky. It looks like they're going to look to disengage from Baron and take the fight. Nice elastic
that's
shot
a big engage.
Spurg right onto the backline, banging it up with Swiss. Oh, it's just a massacre on the backline. And Spurg's going to get hit by that E by Mordekaiser, but it looks like it's not going to mean anything.
Oh no, maybe it will.
Though.
Caridian is really showing his value as a mid laner here.
Oh, Caridian picking up the double kill, but it looks like he won't get the triple.
Oh.
Blood will pick him out outside of the Zonias.
A really,
nice
really
That'll
good
be the
demonstration there.
For Team Dads After Dark.
And we got to keep in mind that was essentially a 4v5, right? That they just won.
No Voidtech.
Wow.
A convincing win, too. A great elastic slingshot into Killer Instinct into Thresh dive in the backline. I mean, there was no protection for Abarn or Spirit. They just got melted.
Oh, Spurg, yeah, I've got to say, Spurg is on it with these ultimates. The Killer Instinct, like, I can't think of a more apt ability name. Yeah. This guy is an animal tonight.
Spurg, you're killing me. Every time I praise you, you turn around and do something. You buy the Mortal Reminder. Oh, and a Shane purchase? Did you see that? Okay, pickaxe.
Yeah, that was interesting. I'm ready to see it. Oh, and there's an Executioner's Calling coming out from the Darius. And I gotta say it, Reform Bully. He's in 2 fully completed items and T2 boots. There's no Thornmail. There's no Oblivion Orb. There's no Executioner's Calling. What's going on?
Yeah, the lack of healing reduction from Bully, I'm gonna have to wait. Looks like the Baron started out by team front to back. They've got a very strong Baron with the Azir and the Jinx, but it looks like Blood's gonna snuff this out. Baron's down to 2.5k. Elastic Slingshot not gonna be in time. Red team's gonna secure Baron Nashor. But we're gonna take the subsequent fight. Darius in the death realm. Looks like he's gonna win out this fight.
Not looking like it's so good.
Bully's team has
Oh,
abandoned
wow.
him. Oh, but Bully actually
Bully!
gonna pick it up with the passive. Wojtek gonna get the kill.
Unbelievable. Absolutely stellar play from Bully in that fight.
Yeah, Bully
Showing out in blood. Oof.
But it looks like
Just
with
not quite enough damage on the R. So
team front
close.
to back being out of position, it looks like Team Dads are going to be able to stop the soul point condition, pick up that 4th dragon of the game to even up the score to 2-2. But it looks like well played by team front to back. Looks like they're going to pick up 2 or 3 turrets off the back end of the trading that dragon.
Love to see that 7 dragon game. Nobody likes the Elder Drag, right?
Burger flip for the Elder Dragon is the way.
I mean, I know our team is a big fan of that condition, but I guess not everybody has to rock that style.
It's an underrated win condition. I think more teams should try it out. just be better at flipping coins, I believe, is
That might be the moral of the story here.
yeah. If you just flip the coin on heads every time, and you'll win every game. You know,
And there we go.
50% of the time it works 100% of the time.
I think that does sound familiar to me.
Yeah, I believe that's the old saying. But now, if your team Dads After Dark, what is the play? You kind of just want to turtle out this Baron, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot of wave position currently for front to back to be pushing all that hard outside of the mid lane, you know, notably that front tower sticking out, T2, the last one standing. Looks like the obvious play here, obvious push, and I mean, TJ at least appears to be positioning for it, but pretty decent side wave management so far from the side of Dads, prepping themselves to defend this Baron.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and with that, with the Azir, it really is very safe to siege, you know? Because the passive of Shurima's Legacy, able to protect your flank with an entire turret, it's very powerful on top of the Baron, and you have a lot of protection when you can put those Sand Soldiers behind you.
Right, and as long as you keep that E up, you've got a lot of mobility coming out on top of that to reposition.
Yeah. We'll have to look and see if Wojtek and Spurred tanking up the Shurima's Legacy passive. It's a deceiving amount of damage. It is not something. It's basically a turret. You really do not want to mess with that thing.
Yeah, definitely not as one of the squishier members of the team. At least I'm thinking Joa and Blood might not have too much problem trying to take through one of those. Definitely not something you're looking to stand under for an extended period of time, though.
Definitely.
And that's a big kill coming out for Darius.
And it looks like the Killer Instinct was notably burned in that, alongside with the Noxian Guillotine. So Spurred will not be able to play these fights like he has been if they're going to look for this 5v4 fight. So it will be interesting to see if they try and just retake control, maybe knock down one of these inner towers, get some of that standing gold for themselves. It looks like they're just trying to retake control of the vision in their jungle. Swiss missing out on that ward there, just barely.
Yeah, looking like pretty good vision so far from Spirit of Fate as we were anticipating.
Yeah, got
look at that 71.
Yeah, already at a 71 vision score.
Remarkable.
He's got that Zhonya's Hourglass to go along with his Soul Shackles too, so he's going to be an absolute nuisance in fights to deal with. Caridian having the double mana item with the Seraph's Embrace, really going to boost his AP, and it looks like he's going to get a Death Cap next. So his total AP should just go through the roof. I'm assuming in the 600 range once he completes that item.
Yeah, what are we looking at now? At about 430?
Yeah, it looks like we are looking at 430 AP, 429 if we want to split hairs, on the side of Mr. Caridian, level 17.
Just soaked up
Farming
XP
extremely
this
well.
game.
Farming pretty decently.
Wojtek as well, just 8 CS, 10 CS short of Caridian here.
Yeah, also being able to farm extremely well despite that rough early game. It's already on 3 items as well, opting for that Morellonomicon next. And not too sure if the Morellonomicon would be the direction I go if I were him, but I understand it. But we don't really have a lot of time to talk as this dragon coming up quite soon. Just another 40 seconds on it, and there will more than likely be a fight, as it's just a dance for vision right about now. Nice little sweeper out from Spirit of Fate, Death's Grasp,
Oh, yeah,
miss.
it's some real dancing here. You gotta be very careful with that.
Blood, the
Ooh,
Apprehend missing.
and there's the Morgana bind coming through.
Morgana Bind landing, but it looks like Bully might be in a bit of trouble. It looks like he Death Realmed Mr. Swiss Army Cabinet. I'm not sure that's exactly who you wanted in that Death Realm. Pops the Zonia, Super Mega Death Rocket misses. Looks like
big
Blood's gonna
flash
go
out.
down to Kane on the backside of the spike.
Oh, it's a
Double
big
trespass.
re-engage from Joa.
Huge engage from Joe with the Let's Bounce, but there's just no damage. Oh, and
Spurg on the
just
bot
walks-
side, coming
walks
down.
straight into TJ. Looks like, can he kite this out? He's gonna be able to. Oh, nice
Oh,
Killer
no,
Instinct to
TJ.
dodge out. Oh, but you don't want to be that close.
Big knockup.
Oh, but Coridian once again doing the
Wow.
slight int he does, and
Oh,
Voitech
A-Barn.
able to clean house.
Unreal.
Oh, and
Action-packed
just-
fight here.
Just a massive blunder from Team Front to Back after they had such a large advantage in that fight.
Yeah, Dad's After Dark really pulling out the back end of that fight there. And Reform Bully back up almost full
This
HP
Dragon
after
getting
that.
down to
early
1.5k gold
pinch.
lead. Kaisa gonna miss out on that W.
Spurg and
the double
Voitech
grasp by
out of
by
position.
Bully, and Spurg's got nothing to do. Looks like he's gonna go down to the final Mordekaiser.
Wow. Was that 2 shutdowns going over to Bully there?
Yeah, that was a pair of shutdowns.
No, 1 to Kane, 1 to Bully.
Yeah, it looks like
TJ
one each
looked to
the
have
Kane and the
picked up
Mordekaiser.
the Cassiopeia there. Wow, and you're looking now at a 5-3-10. TJ really putting his pressure out on the map here in this as we transition into this late game.
Yeah, already on those 3 items. Be interesting to see what he does next, but it looks like Team Front to Back wants this Baron again.
Yeah, and let's not gloss over the fact that Swiss Army Knife ate a big Mordekaiser R there and played it out incredibly well inside that death realm.
Yeah, Bully not being able to pick up a kill was quite detrimental to their fight. But Baron already down to 4k. Or
Wow, and they just completely zone them all. Can't even walk up. Say that's ours. Thank you.
well, Voitech was not in the fight. It looks like they really pulled trigger when oh, he was still dead from the
Yeah.
extended fight. So yeah, can't really do anything about that.
Yeah, it always hurts in this late game when you see 2 objectives spaced out so close together that a late fight on one turns into a lost second objective.
Yep. And interestingly, Voitech buying a Giant's Belt, which does not build into the standard Morellonomicon in mid. It's just a ruby crystal.
Yeah, looking like maybe he is.
Might have been a mispurchase.
Yeah, that's looking like perhaps not a Morellonomicon but a Rylai's.
Yeah, I could opt for that that Rylai's Crystal Scepter.
Droid
Obviously
stepping
very-
in
very
with a
good for
confident call there.
But right now it's just all eyes on waiting for this this final Soul Dragon. It's in 3 minutes. So we'll see what happens.
Also,
I mean,
still no IE from that Kaisa. We're looking at a Last Whisper in that most recent pick.
Yeah, looks like that's gonna go to a Lord Dominic's regards. What do you think about Spurg's build this game? I feel like he's really mismanaged his gold income that he received.
You know, I'm looking at a lot of items down there that I don't really get to build often in TCL and the champions that I'm allowed to play. But I love Infinity Edge, and I feel like he's almost a wet noodle until his passive hits right now.
I would completely agree. I think that Mortal Reminder is a massive gold sap that could have gone towards your Infinity Edge or having your Lord Dominic's already. On top of finishing up that Mercurial Scimitar is a nice Death's Grasp by TJ, knocking up 3 there. Spurg very poked out.
That's nice miasma zoning them off there. from
Yeah,
a
looks like
re-engage.
we're gonna get a double inhib coming out for the side of team front to back. And
Are
this
we
game
looking at a
is
death by 1,000 wounds here at the end?
it might just be, or they might just be looking for this triple inhib into Soul. At this point, this is team front to back's game to lose.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Even though a deceptive 22 to
oh, but
22.
a nice death sentence out from Swiss Army Cabinet, earning that cleanse from Caridian. We'll see if they
Caridian
look to
not
pull the trigger
hesitating.
off this. Almost all summoners up except for that Zac flash and Void type flashes. Here we go. Here comes the engage. Let's bounce. Oh, but an interesting
That's a
Shurima
pretty
shuffle there on the end. Not doing a whole lot of work.
big
That
zoning
Darius passive
shuffle.
is stacked up for Mr. Bloodbath and beyond. Reform Bully just tanking up so much though. And no resets for the Darius. He can't deal any damage.
You know, I actually
look-
really like that Shurima shuffle there.
Yeah, just to be able to zone them away. And it looks like Spurg's just going to go
Wow,
down.
Spurg
Valiant
is doing
effort at
the
end,
absolute
but
most.
again, just the lack of damage output there.
Yeah, I will say I did really like Caridian's ulti there. I feel like he may have misclicked on his Zonias though. I felt like he maybe was safe enough to be doing some more DPS during that fight. Either way, coming out looking very good, convincing on many fronts for front to back here, as they wrap up a
regardless.
pretty convincing game one.
No soul needed. Game one's going to go to team front to back.
A summoner has disconnected.
A-Barn with the old Alt F4,
Naturally. It is tradition after all.
as one does. And yeah, overall, despite a very good early game from Team Dad After Dark, just kind of crumbled in that mid game with losing those early dragons and yeah.
And as we get into this post game, looking at some of these stats here, as is customary, we swing it over to damage. Looking at that Kaisa, A-Barn, and Jinx, Spurg Kaisa, A-Barn on Jinx, sorry. About what we expected, I'd say.
Yeah, and even despite that the itemization choices on Spurg, still able to put out massive DPS.
Yeah, and we're seeing, notably, I'd say, Bully matching Blood in terms of damage from the top lane.
Yeah, Mordekaiser deals a lot of AoE DPS. I think it's kind of deceiving, especially with that Rift Maker and the Mordekaiser passive. Just deals a really deceiving amount of damage and just melts tanks and squishies alike, especially when you go into that Zonias and you're on top of it.
Absolutely.
But that will about wrap it up for game one. We will see you in a bit for game two and see if Team Dad After Dark can get back in this series and win game two. Welcome back, Mr. TCL viewers and Mrs. TCL viewers out there. We are back for Game 2 between Team Front to Back and Team Dads After Dark. Team Front to Back taking Game 1 in a bit of a fiesta fashion with gold really swinging all over the place.
Yeah, we're looking forward to another pretty exciting game here. Saw a lot of back and forth, even within individual fights and across the whole game. Uh, Excited to see some more of that kind of gameplay, I hope.
Yeah, no, definitely. As we see, the sides have been swapped for this Game 2. So we'll have to see if the pick and ban gets a little shuffled around with the Ezreal bans and such.
Yeah, we
Maybe
still probably expecting that R3 Ezreal ban, right?
yeah, Ebarn definitely likes to play Ezreal. It's one of his favorite champs in his wheelhouse, I believe, right now, because it is one of the more powerful champs to play right now. But it looks like both teams are ready to roll, and here we go. So, what do you think? Do you think we're gonna see the Ezreal ban again?
I mean, yeah,
Or
I think it's been pretty standard this season, right?
yeah,
What are
ever
you
since
thinking as another option there?
ever since the buff to Divine Sunder, I feel like it's just a must ban on red side.
Right.
Just feels like such a powerful pick. But ban's not changing much so far. The Wukong and the Nocturne both taken away. Just a mirror of the our last champion select.
You know, we saw more than a few, I'd say, support bands. Same Nunu band, of course,
Yep.
coming through for Joa. Saw a fair number of support bands last time through, so interested to see if that holds up.
Do you think front to back will take away the Thresh from Swiss Army Cabinet?
You know, I don't know. I wonder how Spirit feels about the Bard pick into Swiss Army's Thresh, and I think more to the point, how Abarn feels about Spirit's Bard pick into the Thresh. Um, I feel like
There's
it may
that
be
Bard
something
for the
that
Ezreal ban.
is just consistently undervalued and disrespected throughout the season. You know, Swiss Army is consistently putting up really good games on that champion, and
Yeah,
I don't know,
it's getting
people
to
let
the
him have it.
point where I truly feel like it's worth banning away as the B1 Morgana
Wow.
straight away. I don't really see that as being a super high priority or contested pick, so I'm a little interested in why they wanted to pick that first, not in the B2, B3 slot.
Yeah, I mean, as we noticed last game, there's that Morgana Thresh matchup. You know, we'd be basically begging Swiss Army here to pick Thresh, saying, you know, give me the counter. But I think he demonstrated that
Yeah, he's
that counter
already.
doesn't mean a whole lot,
Yeah,
right?
that counter is about as good as a poopy flavored lollipop, if you ask me. Just really, I thought Swiss personally, despite his vision score lacking to Spirit, completely outplayed him in lane.
Yeah.
Able to generate a ton of pressure off the back of Rook's ganks. Able to choke out the vision as the Trundle pick for
Yeah.
TJ in the jungle.
Speaking of Rook's ganks, we're seeing him on what I think is my favorite champion to see him on, the Sejuani. Love
Mhm.
that from him. You know, one of his tried and true for the past all 3 seasons of
Yeah, the
TCL here.
Glacial Prison obviously being extremely impactful as an ability. If Spirit can. Oh, and the Sivir
Speaking
coming
of
out
go
for
buttons, you
A-Barn.
know,
Yeah, you want
speaking
to
of
talk
go
about activating
buttons,
a go button. And I talked about this on a previous cast, but the nerf to Shirelias is addition by subtraction for the Sivir on the hunt. Because an item just doesn't negate her entire ultimate anymore. It's
right?
actually like popping a Shirelias of your own and a more powerful one at that. Especially when you get some more levels into it. And unsurprisingly, the Thresh picked for Swiss Army Cabinet.
I see we have some comedians in the chat asking if who the number 1 top in the league is. What do you say to that?
Um, well, if I had to really think about it, I believe you are first, Bully is second, and then third. Hmm. Yeah,
Uh,
there's only top two, and that's it.
Top 2, that's it.
Everyone else is
And you
worthless.
know, I think the only thing that was holding Bully back was his build, and he held off that Oblivion Orb till he had 2 whole items. I think we've big things in Mr. Reformed Bully's future here.
Bully may have been conditioned to being terrified of building anti-heal out of getting flamed by his own teammates and friends alike, but maybe we could ask him more about that, but can't confirm or deny that, but he may have gotten some
Wow,
help
and there's
for it.
that
And the
Mordekaiser
Mordekaiser
respect
ban,
band. I like to see that because, that's a champion that Blood himself plays.
the Annie once again taken away. Wojtek
They
must
don't
be
want it.
extremely proficient for them to be taking this away every time.
Tell you, I don't wanna see that in my game. I respect that band too.
Yeah. But
I
we'll
wanna see
see what
something really aggressive
I'd
from
imagine
from
Wojtek
Blood.
will be picking his champion here and leaving a counter pick for Bloodbath and Beyond in the top lane.
This is the way. Oh my,
Oh, we
I
get
love it.
New Mundo. We get New Mundo.
There it
But
is.
are you really
There it
that big of a
is.
fan of this New Mundo pick into the Trundle?
I f Give me more. Give me more. I don't
Oh,
Trundle doesn't
oh,
matter. Trundle doesn't matter.
but this
Give me more
is
of this
this is
Mundo.
something I'd
He's
really like to see. But
this
obviously,
is
this is a meme hover with the
this
Morgana
is
already
no
locked
way.
in.
Oh, man.
Yeah, the Morg-
Oh, okay,
Morgana
the
already being locked
Kled.
in, but the
I
Kled
haven't
into the
seen that
Doctor Mundo.
matchup yet with that new Mundo. That's a new one.
Well, obviously, we know Kled was a popular counter pick into Aatrox for a long time,
True.
with a cut to his healing
Right, right, on
on
that
the
that
bear
bear
trap on
trap
the
on a
rope.
rope.
Yep. So I think we should see a similar function, and it'll also pop that Dr. Mundo passive, which
But
I think could be very effective in poking out that Mundo.
okay, and not to be glossed over is a big Ziggs pick. We love to see that here. I personally always love to see my mid laner whip out the Ziggs. Granted, our mid laner is pretty cracked, but
True.
um,
And the
okay, and
Ari
there's
in
that Ahri. I
response for
actually love
Wojtek.
Ahri too.
Interesting.
I think it was Control putting out a very impressive performance on Ahri in this past week, showing just what that champion is capable of.
Yeah, on the back of Matthias von Wells being his Yumi little cat duo, cat
Right.
squared, just running around the.
There
Well,
is
Ari's a fox, but
close enough.
king
Dog
of
on
Animalia.
cat software, something like that. So we have a Mundo here from Blood, and I think we want to revisit that because there's been, discussion in previous seasons that Blood is too quick to remove himself from a carry champion in some cases.
Mhm.
Uh, on team comps where a lot of people seem to expect him to be the one doing the carrying.
Yeah, yeah, and that's obviously been a very popular, headline with Blood being such a strong individual player. I don't think we should force players into being carries necessarily. That's something I actually wanted to touch on. I think players can function in their own roles, be able to generate advantages, and not be on carry champions. You can generate game winning advantages outside of being on a carry champion. And I think people
Absolutely.
fail to realize that sometimes. And we might
Yeah,
even see it this game where Blood is able to generate an advantage in this top lane with the Mundo. But I'd really like to see Bully opt for an Ignite TP and just try to run Blood down on this pick.
yeah, unfortunately, it looks like we are getting a teleport flash from
Ah,
Reformed Bully on this one. Looking pretty standard. We're seeing a teleport flash from both top laners, Smite Flash in the jungle. Caridian is picking up that cleanse into Ari, uh, showing some wariness of that charm and the pick that it presents. We've also got in the bot lane a standard 2 flashes and a heal and an ignite each. Um, I look forward to this top lane. I really do. I really want to see Bully step it up in terms of tempo, I think, in the lane here. And I want to see him try to dictate to Blood how this lane goes rather than being
vice
a
versa.
bit more of the passive. Yeah, I'd say he's a bit more of the passive party. Understandably into Blood's Darius, something I'm not a big fan of playing
Yeah,
against myself.
I think Bully really has a great advantage here to showcase some of his individual carry potential on a team that's really centered around A-Barn, right? And
A-Barn, and I'd say
A-Barn the
not.
carry, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, I'd say so. Zig to presents Caridian's avenues of carry, particularly in that side lane push, with his satchel charge doing all of that final execute damage on those towers. I don't know. It should be this should be, I think, a story of TJ probably visiting top lane as frequently as he can, when those dragon timers are off, you know?
Hmm.
You get a lot
And
of utility out of that ulti onto a Mundo.
one thing I'd really like to see is if TJ looks for some dives top lane, because the Kled passive,
Yes.
being very proficient and being able to just drop tower aggro, if you start the dive as Kled, it's very, very easy to be able to walk away unscathed with just your passive lost.
Right. Manipulate that Scarl dismount, remount mechanic.
Yeah,
It
and
it can be not only that, no, I mean, it can be infuriating,
oh,
on the
as a
receiving
top
end
laner,
dealing with that. Oh, man.
oh, you look at three waves stacked up coming to your turret, and you see a Kled sprinting at you, and Trundle blocking you with that pillar of ice. It's like, oh, goodness
Yeah.
gracious. I do not want to be here right now.
An absolute nightmare.
But we'll have to see if TJ looks to press those advantages. I really hope he does, because I think he's got a great opportunity to play through a lane that they team front to back normally doesn't with this Kled top lane.
Oh, wait, I think the game's over. We are seeing that corporate Mundo skin, the absolute
Oh,
maximum amount of swag, just absolute utter peak swag that could be incorporated into a single champion skin. There it is.
has been unlocked. Wow,
It's
that is
Dr. Mundo and Bloodbath and Beyond. Clearly, he's out here. He's saying, "We're taking no prisoners. This is game 2. We're trying to put you in the dirt. I'm not pulling my punches here."
yeah. I don't want to go home as he's in that car ready to rock and roll, skirting around the rift. But here we go as we're underway in game 2.
Surprise, surprise. Don't think we're gonna see an invade from the sides of Dad. The side of
Yep.
Dad's After Dark here.
Yep, looks like that everybody's just gonna opt for your normal 5 point, and we can all take a nap
30
until
seconds
1:30.
until minions
Yeah, just
spawn.
about.
Yeah. Oh, looks
Beverage
like
break. Need to
I
grab a
never mind. I
snack.
take it back. Bully maybe sneaking into this tri-brush up top. Actually,
Oh man,
making me
that
eat my
new
words.
Mundo.
Oh, wait a minute. Wojtek might be in a little bit of danger.
Wow, and Blood backed himself right
They've
back off
snuck
to
back
support
into
that
here,
red.
and Wojtek looks like he
Oh
might be
no.
typing in chat. Bear trap on the rope pulls him back, and Caridian picks up first blood.
Wow, somebody asleep at the
Minions
wheel
have
there.
It
spawned.
looks like Wojtek literally heard my advice and fell asleep at his keyboard until 1:30.
All right, that's a
Oh, but am
and
I
looks like
seeing
no
this right
invades
on
here.
their on the summoner cooldowns? Is Bloodbath and Beyond's flash down?
It is indeed down, actually.
And Spurg's heal as well in the bot lane.
That is concerning. That's setting up not only a kill advantage, but a summoner advantage in 2 lanes. Granted, Spurg hopefully getting that heal up before a gank, an imminent
Yeah,
gank
it occurs
occurs.
before anything consequential can happen.
All right, now Bully does have the cooldown advantage here. All right, on Kled into Darius's passive in this early game, provided that he doesn't catch his buckler. You're looking at about a 40-second cooldown on the Darius passive,
Yeah.
as opposed to Kled. I think gonna be a little bit less confident on my rough guesstimation here, around 15 seconds on that bear trap on a rope. I think maybe closer to 9. So he's got opportunities here to re-engage while that passive is down.
And it looks like I just was able to rewind. Blood wasted his flash. Must have been a fat finger earlier in the game when he was moving towards that tri-brush. And
Oh man,
Spurg, interestingly enough, there is info that Spurg burned his heal, but not that Blood has no flash.
interesting. Okay, so that's good to know. So as far as everybody else is concerned, Blood is at full strength in that top lane.
Yeah, so we'll see if that maybe dissuades TJ or if he's going to path up here, as Caridian getting the better end of these trades in the mid. Must have been able to land some nice bouncing bombs. As Bully going in with the bear trap on the rope and the E.
Yeah,
It's
aggressive.
dismounted though.
I would like to see him potentially follow that up a little bit. I think he may have the cooldown advantage there. provided he can get that remount. And now, see, now he's just
Oh,
in
but
no man's land. This is
Bully
you've
might
got,
be in some trouble. Rook having flash, he's gonna be able to follow it with that winner's bite. He's just gonna go down to that
and that really hurts losing the flash on that as well as the death, you know.
yeah.
And it looks like TJ wants to dance in that top lane. He is getting damage out, and there's a teleport coming through
And it,
from Kled.
and it looked like he was able to
And that's a
take
dead
out
blood.
Mr. Rookstout, and
Oh my
both go
lord.
down. And
And that's a trade back. 2 for 1,
that's what
essentially.
happens when you don't have that flash early.
Wow. And, you know, they've got to be scratching their heads here, wondering where the flash is coming from Blood.
I and you have to
TJ
be
just
scratching your head
making a really aggressive play there and capitalizing.
if your team dads after dark. How do you die there? You got a clean kill, you shove the wave, and you walk away. It's very odd how that was able to occur.
Yeah, you know, that first kill comes through TJ in the 1v2 on Joa and Blood.
Oh, but TJ just straight back to business, ganking Wojtek in the mid. Nice pillar of ice. Gonna slow him down. Wojtek maybe not throwing his flash out
Yeah,
soon enough.
wow.
Oh, but a flash coming out from Caridian. It's gonna go wide, and Wojtek's gonna pick up the kill.
And that's Ignite down from Ari as well as Flash.
Oh, and Rook moving straight into Caridian. Might be in some trouble without that flash he just
Wow,
used.
Caridian, I
Still has
think,
that,
may
still
go
has
down
that
here.
cleanse up. Able to cleanse away the Sejuani E.
He's got no
But-
mana, though.
But it looks like he's just gonna get
Oh,
run
wow.
down. Oh, one auto, but Rook doesn't have any. Oh, he doesn't have the flash either. He's just gonna walk away. Rook
That's
might actually be in
tragic.
some nice
Oh, that's a
charm coming out
big
from
charm
Wojtek,
coming through.
but it looks like Rook's just perfectly fine.
All right. And that, you know, comes out perhaps a little less bloody than it might have been.
Yeah, I mean, quite surprised with how everything went there. Great play by Wojtek after his little bit of a rough early game last game, being able to kill TJ when he got a little too aggressive on that dive, using his flash earlier in that top play.
Yeah, Woj just really making him pay on a bit of an overcommit there.
Definitely. And being that Ari, being able to get a nice full lost chapter early
Oh, man.
helps so much when it comes to pushing and shoving waves. Because that Ari Q, it's a little bit frustrating because you really need a dematerializer if you want
For
to be
that
able to
early.
one-shot the backline early. But when you have that, you've got something like that lost chapter, the nice little EXP advantage and gold advantage, lets you, if you're not one-shotting those, you got the lost chapter, so you're able to just spam your Orb of Deception on cooldown and shove those waves.
Heartbreaking couple of CS there for Bully as Blood gets a back off after pushing the wave in. And yeah, I think Woj has got to be feeling pretty good about where he's at now.
Yeah, he's got
Especially, you know, in
Has
retrospect,
access to
looking at that
Spirit
first
Rush.
death.
TJ might be looking for this here. But nothing given. Double buffs wear off. And it looks like we have a 3-man developing with Spirit and TJ in the mid lane, but it looks like TJ's going back towards his red, so it does not look like that's going to happen.
Yeah, and maybe Woj has something sniffed out here because he's playing pretty safe on his weak side here.
Yeah, they know Spirit is out of lane because Spurg and Swiss are shoving that bear trap on the rope lands. Fully able to just step on that passive.
Yeah, been pretty consistent with smashing that buckler, not letting Blood get that free HP back and cooldown reduction on his passive. Pretty critical
Yeah.
into the Mundo these days.
Definitely don't want him picking up that canister on cooldown and just healing away all the damage you dealt to him. Oh, but a nice Dark Binding onto a Swiss Army cabinet. Still has that flash available. Throws out the flay, and he's going to go down to that Boomerang Blade.
That's a
by
big Dark
Avon.
Shield.
And it looks like Spurg's going to go down too. Heal, interestingly held. Oh my goodness.
A-Barn making a very
The
aggressive play,
20 are
flashing
going
forward.
wide. Permafrost landing from Rookstout. It looks like Spirit's going to go down in an extended 2-for-2.
Oh, Spirit hits a very nice QW.
Mega
Ult
Inferno
comes
Bomb,
through from
not quite
Caridian.
enough. Abarn almost walking back into that charm from the Ari.
Wow, really nice extended fight there coming out from both sides, ending up in favor of, dare I say it, I think, I'd say front to back here. Abarn picking up, was that 2 kills?
I mean, it truly just depends on what you're looking for, depending on each team. Because Wojtek was obviously able to pick up 2 kills there, which will enable him to continue snowballing in that mid lane. It's Bloodbath and Beyond taking a little trade, forcing the dismount from Reformed Bully.
That's a lot of damage coming through. That cleaver,
But
or I suppose
I would have
briefcase.
liked to see Spurg not be so greedy with his summoner spells there. Probably not able to save Swiss Army Cabinet, but he definitely should have been able to save his own life as he dings level 6 and picks up that Killer Instinct. But
And Bully's going to be looking here to get this Ream out of here. He knows he's got his jungler in his top side supporting him. And this looks like it may be coming down to a dragon for Dad's After Dark.
yeah, and with TJ being on that top side on his Gromp, it looks like there will be no contest maybe outside of a blind Dark Binding from Spirit of Fate. And not even that. First dragon goes down. Oh, his blood flashing on to Reform Bully top.
And we look away for just a moment.
Got that
And we miss
sadism
it all.
popped. No buckler. TJ with the blue smite coming down.
Mundo's going to go where he pleases. Will Trundle be able to stop him? And with the
Oh, and the
flash chomp.
just
Crazy.
to take him out. And that subjugate just melting. Blood's little resistances that he had in the plated steel caps. That's why I was hesitant to think that the Mundo pick was so good blind.
You know, it is a bit of a flex. I'm going to be honest. Like, it can be an abusable pick. I think the biggest thing that you sacrifice there is Blood's traditional tendency to pick champions that allow him to outplay the 1v2.
Yeah.
And you know, that comes down to a stylistic preference. I have a hard time believing that Blood's picking anything that he doesn't want to be picking, right?
Naturally.
So I guess it comes down to a judgment call and preference, and it may have just not be working out for him this time. I'm excited to see how he looks with a couple items under his belt, though, because like we're not even seeing a mythic on him yet.
No.
I expect to see him scaling pretty well into this mid game on Mundo and being a pretty relevant force on the Rift.
Likely gonna get that Frostfire Gauntlet, I'd imagine. As oh, nice charm coming out from Wojtek in the mid lane, getting a nice little chunk with the Caridian. And like I touched on earlier, the investment into the Ahri, it looks like Team Front to Back in the long term has gotten the better out of that 2 for 2.
Yeah, definitely looking like it.
Yeah, as Wojtek not able to really develop a CS advantage in mid, and in fact being in a CS deficit, Caridian has really closed that gold gap. I believe he is only down. Yeah, Caridian's only down 300 gold in that mid lane. Just a single kill deficit. And I think that's going to go down when he picks up this mid wave as well.
Seeing a definite more sizable difference in the jungle there. About, what is that, about 800 in the favor
About an
of
800 gold lead for TJ.
coming off those kills.
Yeah, those 2 kills he picked up on Bloodbath and Beyond. As here comes Kled charging straight into the Sejuani. Sejuani, Arctic Assault over the pit. Glacial Prison locking up TJ, but I don't think he really cares. There's no damage to stop him.
Blood's got no teleport,
kill.
or got no flash up. Gets stuck in the pit there.
And this is looking like Rift Herald for Team Front to Back as TJ smites it away.
That's a lot of pressure that comes in off of that nice, effective Kled ultimate from Reformed Bully there.
Yeah, no, that was very nice. The charge coming out from Reformed Bully, just really catching Team Dads After Dark off guard. I don't think they were expecting that to come out with the Trundle and the Kled just sprinting in there. And this first tower is going to go down.
Blood
Favor
just
Team Front
sneaking
to
that
Back.
teleport in.
Yeah, I'm not really a huge fan of the teleport, if I'm being honest. Because you know that tower is going to go down anyway. And that wave's going to be pushing towards you. I feel like you'd want to save that teleport for a future dragon fight. Now Bully's going to hold that advantage over him. Maybe look to make a play off map.
Yeah, and you know, maybe not quite the high tempo that I was looking for from Bully, but you know, the game is still fairly early yet. We're only 12 minutes, 13 minutes in. I look forward to seeing what he does with this 2-1-2 lead. Ran down 25 farm on the Mundo, but
Yeah, despite it,
I
he's
like
up 300 gold between the first turret gold and the couple kills and assists he's picked up.
absolutely, and I'd like to see that lead steamrolled a bit here. I see a double armor coming out from Blood on the Mundo. I have to assume that's coming into a Bramble Vest. try to cut down on some of that incoming damage, try to reflect a little bit into Kled.
Yeah, I'm not really a huge fan of the Bramble Best Vi this game from Bloodbath and Beyond, at least early game. Because I think the only healing you're really going to be cutting would be TJ's from his Trundle passive. And even that is mostly out of combat healing from units dying. As here we go, we have a Flash Soul Shackle onto Spur. Great CC chain from Spirit of Fate. And Aborn's going to pick up the kill. Well played by the bottom lane of Team Front to Back.
Gotta call out that ward over the wall there by Spirit. Gives the vision onto Swiss Army Cabinet on Thresh, allowing Abarn to hit that nice spell shield on the death sentence coming out from Swiss Army.
Well played. Charm goes wide for Wojtek. Here comes the Glacial Prison. Really, TJ getting pretty chunked. Nice flay from Swiss Army Cabinet. Ignites down, so he should melt. Nice Mega Inferno Bomb's going to drop down Rook Stout. Oh, but another nice charm from Wojtek's going to melt Spirit. He doesn't have any summoner spells.
Oh, Caridian gets
Wojtek able to dodge out from the bouncing bomb.
launched out.
And another 2 for 2. Oh, the flash over the
big flash.
charm. And it looks like Wojtek is going to go down to the Raptors, and no, he's just barely going to live. Killer Instinct coming in from Spurg.
Wow.
One more auto should proc that Kaisa passive, and it will go down.
Beautifully played from Caridian there. Heartbreaking, not able to pick up that last skosh of damage that he needed to put it away onto Wojin. Locked down the 250 gold bounty.
But in the side,
heartbreaking.
we got Avarn just being able to free farm. He's going to take down the second turret of the game. Build up a nice little CS advantage. He's going to opt for that Kraken Slayer on a more attack speed oriented Sivir, rather than that traditional Dark Harvest that we've been seeing.
Yep, and his Trundle
TJ going for
positions
Spurg
himself
in the
up.
mid lane. Spurg just having his flash up, no Killer Instinct, but it doesn't look like he's in much danger. Maybe TJ's in some more danger. And
TJ
he's just, I believe that is,
disrespecting Swiss Army there a little bit, I think.
yeah, it might be a bit of a win trade, I believe is what it's called.
The leak of
Spurg?
PayPal, I heard.
Yeah, Spurg sent him a nice little PayPal there. Very nice by him. And this is going to allow the second dragon of the game to go down to Team Dads After Dark.
Yeah, I have heard there is a theory
Mega Inferno
about
Bomb not able to steal it.
a
Oh,
big
another
death
death sentence
sentence.
on the Caridian, able to burn his cleanse.
I'm telling you, Caridian does not hesitate on these cleanses. He sees it, he knows it's there, and as
Oh,
soon
but here
as
we
he
go, the
needs
On the
one,
Hunt coming out from Abarn. The Flash Boomerang Blade forward, not quite enough as the charge coming out from Kled. Bloodbath and Beyond has that Sadism pop running under the tower. Looks
Kled
like it's
notably missing the Barret Trap on a rope there. That crucial second bit of CC to lock down the Mundo
Yeah,
after
and
his
it would have
passive
popped the
pop.
anti-heal onto Bloodbath and Beyond. But
Well-
business as usual for Corporate Mundo. He just walks away.
Absolutely, just going wherever he pleases, honestly.
Does not give a damn. And just a nice 3k gold lead. Built up by Team Front to Back so far. We're only 15 minutes in, really. But here we go, we got the Frostfire Gauntlet, finished for Bloodbath and Beyond, finally on that power spike. And a Warmogs
Wow.
for Kled. What do you
That's
think of
a
that?
very interesting buy.
And I don't mean to call him out, but I'm going to do it anyway. Spirit of Fate, you did not buy a broken stopwatch, you fat-fingered it. You do not want to see that on Morgana. That is a
That is
brutal cooldown to
unfortunate.
lose. As Trundle able to take down Bloodbath and Beyond with the help of Caridian in the top lane. Looks like Blood
Wow.
may have just been overextended, and he's 1-4 so far on this Dr. Mundo.
That is definitely not what we're looking for from your,
From your marquee player.
yeah, many would say, in a sense, your franchise player here.
Yeah, Death
Um,
Sentence going wide. Spirit kind of snuffing that out. Cannon picked up by Wojtek. And Blood really making these pushes without a lot of vision.
Wow,
She
big
gets-
binding from Spirit. Nothing doing there.
Looks like nothing's going to come of it. But if you see that vision up in the top side, multiple pink wards, Blood really cannot go past
About where he is
that
now.
outer tower debris rubble. Yeah. Anything other than that, I understand you're a Dr. Mundo, but that is incredibly greedy to be past that midway point.
Awful lot of dark on the map there.
Yeah. A lot of credit given to Team Front to Back for doing that. Looks like Dark Binding gonna land on Wojtek and a delay of getting into this fight. And I'm not a big fan of this second Herald attempt, but a fight's a fight. Here comes Mega Inferno Bomb. Nice little chunk onto the other team. TJ So Beast looks like he's gonna go down finally to Wojtek. It looks like Rockstout's gonna get the kill. Ooh, Glacial Prison goes wide. Is X Smithy, is that you? It looks like Rookstout's just gonna get run down.
Oh,
what
wow.
a nice Dark Binding, but did they know that it landed?
He does.
Oh,
He
they
managed to
did
get the
not know
W
it
off,
landed.
but not
Wojtek's
in
gonna walk
time.
away with a sliver of health. Bloodbath and Beyond ignited. All
Oh
that
my
anti-heal
god,
is
Spirit's
on.
hitting all of them.
Spurred down to a sliver, but Blood's just running amok on the backline with this Dr. Mundo. Picks up a shutdown. A-Barn, oh, able to take out one Spirit, able to grab the other. As Blood just running after A-Barn, and he's not going to be able to catch him. Doesn't have that flash jump, and he's going to
Wow.
get kited out by Caridian on that minefield.
Just ultimately a little too much CC for Mundo to deal with.
Yeah. Oh,
And you know,
Caridian shorting that bomb.
I'm still kind of flabbergasted by this. Warmog's first item, Kled. Is there something that I'm missing on that?
Yeah, I'm not really crazy about it, if I'm being completely honest. As Second Herald started up, I'm also not a huge fan of the Second Herald take, but
You know, lacking another major objective on the board, I understand making the play, especially right before a reset. Is there
yeah.
anything that else they could have been doing during that time, though?
Well, I would argue you can take that vision control and the bot side because you have the Ocean Drag coming up, which is going to put Team Dads After Dark on Soul Point in a game that would otherwise be unwinnable.
You know, that's a great call, and on that Mundo and Sejuani, not to mention Thresh, of course.
Oh, Swiss, you're sitting on a ward. Pop your oracles, sir.
Oh
Pop those
man.
oracles.
Oh man, how many?
Ooh, we might see a
How many will
reverse
it be?
fanatic brush at this point. Oh, yeah, okay, you have to know now. Swiss, pop your oracles. Oh, but it looks like Blood's gonna just still be sitting top with his TP up. I'd like to see him have an early TP onto this dragon. This is a really great opportunity for your team to get back in this game if you're able to pick up this dragon. But it looks like they're just going to use those first two dragons as just an insurance policy. They're playing oh, but a very late TP coming out. Glacial Prison onto Spirit. He's just going to get one shot. Blue team's going to pick up the dragon, but Spirit's going quite low on the backside. Mega Inferno Bomb's going to take down Rook. It looks like Bully's getting kited out on this back end. A double kill for Bloodbath and Beyond. And Wojtek becoming godlike.
Korean doing his best on that corner. They're not able to get a whole lot of presence in that fight.
Yeah, really just getting zoned out the entire time. Not really able to throw out any bouncing bombs or anything. And Blood, it was a good TP, but you're about 10 seconds late. Your team could have gotten the dragon as well on the back end of that fight.
Yeah, I mean, good to see him scaling into a bit more relevance here in this late game. But I think maybe snapping a little bit quicker on the cross-map TP, making a big play there.
Yeah,
Caridian showing out, both mid laners, honestly, showing out in this game. You know, 5-1-5 from Caridian and 7-1-4 from Woj with pretty impressive farm on both sides.
So, something a little interesting too. Rook Stout on the Sejuani is 2.5k gold behind TJ, but I'd argue he's even more impactful than TJ is in these fights. Only really being able to offer that Subjugate
Right.
and that Pillar of Ice. Meanwhile, Sejuani can lay down a lot of utility with the Glacial Prison, being able to stun multiple people with the Permafrost. And it feels like the gold lead that Team Front to Back has isn't as real as it seems to the eye, but starting out Baron for Team Front to Back, I think this is a little over aggressive, and I don't know if they can do this Baron.
Frankly, the word that comes to mind here as you discuss that is draft
Baron
pick.
down to
We'll come back
3K.
that.
Here we go. It looks like TJ just not really able to provide much in these
Wow.
fights. Mega Inferno Bomb's going to take down Rookstout yet again. And Bully dismounting on that passive. Bloodbath and Beyond just running in, though. I don't think you want to take this fight, Blood. Is Spurg able to one-shot
Spurg is going to wipe them from the back end here.
by Swiss Army Cabinet, and they're gonna be able to take down A-Barn to just one shot, one more ability. Oh, and it's a
Oh,
1-for-1.
wow.
A-Barn's
A-Barn picking
able
up
to
the
pick up a massive
850 gold
shutdown,
kill.
and Spurg and Blood are gonna be able to duo kill this Baron.
Feels like Spurg. Oh, wow.
Spirit of Fate with a rage quit. I'd rage quit too after that fight.
That was rough.
But that's just what I was touching on in that last segment. TJ really not able to provide as much as his champion seems like it should in these fights. There goes Baron for red team.
Yeah,
So
that's
it'll be
going over
interesting
to
what Team Dads After Dark can do
four
with
members
this.
of the team, with Woj being the only one down when that Baron take finishes out. That's 4 Barons on the board.
Yep. And Wojtek finishing up that Death Cap plus Horizon Focus, he's going to be putting out so much damage if he lands a single charm. I mean,
Oh, and
you
that's
just
the last whisper coming out from Spurg on
Yeah,
the Kaisa, maybe getting into that Lord Dominic's. And that's a
yeah,
pause coming through.
here we go. We have a pause coming through. I'm imagining Spirit is having some connectivity issues given the last fight when he disconnected. But, yeah. Dragon's up in a minute 30, though. This can put Team Dads After Dark on sole point. Really, they've retaken control out of a game where I thought was in dire straits for them.
Yeah, they managed to clip up a little bit of a gold differential. That big shutdown going over to A-Barn, notwithstanding when he managed to pick off Woj before going down.
Yeah. It looks like Blood really able to take this game back into his own hands, picking up a 2k gold lead in his lane as well. But in terms of what's going on in the map, we've got Dragon and a $130. And if Team Dads After Dark pick this up, I'd have a hard time believing that they will lose this game. I think they greatly outscale Team Front to Back's comp with the
And here we are
Kled,
getting back into it.
the Kled Trundle. But anyway, we're straight back into the action and a fight straight away in mid. Subjugate cast onto the Sejuani, so she's going to get melted. Able to get that Glacial Prison off right away as we're getting into a slight delay. Kled charging at no one back
And
there, but
is
the Mega
that
Inferno Bomb about to put out a large chunk on the Spurg whenever we get back into the action.
the question here is Joa dead, and is that a wasted R from the Kled to try to lock him down?
I believe Joa is dead to the Ignite. Yeah,
But no,
will
he
go
gets
down.
into
But will he
position on
find
Spurg. No wasted R there.
Spurg not having that Killer Instinct not available. Caridian able to pick up a shutdown. And a nice little 2 for 0 for the side of Team Front to Back. Now they've got to play defenders with Baron. But Ari able to really just one-shot these waves at this point in the game with the Orb of Deception. Really shouldn't be a whole lot of danger.
A-Barn getting picked there, going down early,
That turret
and
gonna
this
go
is
down.
going to be
A-Barn
Woj
just
looking to
getting
make
one-shot by
himself
Wojtek.
a
That's that
presence here.
Horizon focus damage. Another charm landing onto Reform Bully. Looks like he's in trouble now. A bit of a late Black Shield is a double kill for Wojtek.
Woj is in melee range with the Trundle, taking a lot of damage.
TJ kind of in no man's land as well. Oh, barely missing on the bouncing bomb as Blood throwing out the flash infected Bonesaw, but he's going to get rooted out by Spirit of Fate. But this is going to be the Dragon for the side of Team Dads After Dark.
Yeah,
That
for
should
sure,
be coming
for
up quite
sure.
shortly.
Wow, and Woj really having a stellar game here, looking at 11-7.
And that Dragon coming up in 10 seconds. Yeah, I'd really like to see how he can keep doing in this game. He's really put on his carry pants this game.
Yeah, and you know, we mentioned that last whisper from Spurg. Once again, IE? Question mark? I'm granted, I'm not a Kaisa player, so I won't commit hard to that opinion.
I think the Lord Doms has multiplicative value here with the Warmog's armor being built for the Kled. So you'll be able to proc that passive in terms of dealing bonus damage against targets with higher health. And the complete lack of armor means he's just going to shred Reform Bully. But I'm being told someone linked him Kaisa, the champion op.gg page after this game. So I believe that is where he's getting that information from.
Okay.
So That is good to know.
Yeah, we're looking at Blood having snowballed into a 60 farm lead over his lane opponent here.
Yeah,
And
he always
transition
had
that
that.
1 and 4 into a 6, 5, and 5.
Yeah, he always had that roughly 30 CS advantage early game. And he just continued farming his merry way along, and now he's really built it up into a 60 CS advantage and has kills to show for it too.
Demonstrating some, we might say, strong mental here, and making his way bot lane with that teleport up, ready to make a cross map play. Kled, on the other hand, looks like Bully may just be moving his way north to be there for the play to begin with, ready to make maybe an ultimate engage down the mid lane here.
And I think if your team Dads After Dark, the biggest thing you have to be wary of right now is that Sivir on the hunt. Yeah, it's the only way you can be caught out without blood when he's in the side lane with like a Kled charge into the back line plus Sivir on the hunt. It's the only way they're ever going to get a good fight against you at this point. As long as they respect that and Swiss is able to maybe whisk someone away with a dark passage or a good flash over the wall, I think it'll be very, very difficult for the side of Team Front to Back to win fights at this point in the game.
Yeah, and looks like Blood is maintaining a pretty significant wave push here. That is one of the parts about New Mundo that I'm a big fan of. Once you pick up that Bami Cinder, you push lane pretty hard. I mean, he's down there against that Titanic Hydra Kled and not appearing to have much trouble bouncing that wave back at him.
Yeah, and with that change to Mundo's E, no longer just being an attack damage steroid, being that blunt force trauma now, able to really AoE clear waves similar to the Scion.
Right. Sending some little guys flying, as it were.
Yeah, so very powerful in terms of buffing his wave clear. Obviously his W maintaining a similar effect, changed to Heart Zapper though, so now really just a more effective team fighting ability as a whole.
Maybe a little bit of a scuffle here over the on the Raptor camp. And Rook Stout with his ultimate up, that's their go button. I'm ready for one to come out here. Granted,
Also,
I'm sure he'd love to pick out this Caridian maybe. Spirit of Fate hanging around with that spell shield though.
Also, a quick note about this Mundo. When he activates his R, that maximum dosage, he will actually have more attack damage than either the Sivir or the Kaisa in these fights.
Wow.
He's totaling out at around 400 AD. 430 AD when he pops that. So he's going to be doing massive damage in these fights. It's the Mega Inferno Bomb, kind of bizarre. Not really doing a lot of damage, and that's a valuable cooldown to be down. And Caridian kind of in an awkward position, but he's just going to satchel charge out. Here we go, Blood is on a flank. Man on a mission. Oh, and a nice Spirit Rush into Charm by Wojtek, picking up the solo pick all by himself.
Ooh, seeking a little bit of fishing with that charm there.
And here we go. Rookstout throwing out that Glacial
And
Presence.
there it is.
Catch it onto TJ. TJ just
Abarn
a
getting
glorified
pinched in a
cannon,
little
man,
bit of
and-
this
Oh, but a
snow.
nice. Oh, Abarn just barely sneaking out in the back. Spur kiting back TJ. Swiss and Wojtek kiting back Bully, respectively. It looks like Blood's going to pick up the kill onto TJ.
Spurg makes it out clean, and Blood should be hunting for an Abarn right about now.
Yeah, and Abarn probably able to get away quite easily, he's in his own side jungle. But Caridian Reformed Bully might be in a little bit of trouble here. With this dragon coming up in 10 seconds and neither jungler on either side, we're gonna have to see what happens. It's the pings coming out on the side of Team Front to Back. They obviously want this, but I don't think you have the priority to take this. Oh, but Blood kind of in a tough spot. Being engaged on by multiple members of Spirit, getting massively chunked by that Orb of Deception alone. And Blood, that maximum dosage are almost able to come back up. As long as you don't get picked here, you will survive and be able to win this extended fight. And there it goes. He is just shooting back up to full health. Oh my goodness. You cannot hold a candle to this Mundo right now.
He is large, he is in charge, and he is absolutely going wherever he
He's
pleases.
just back to full health. I'd like to see Team Dads After Dark just rush the dragon. As TJ coming in, it's going to be a true 50-50, but the fight is underway. TJ
But
going
will
down.
he have
Oh,
a
and he's
chance to
stolen the
smite? There it
Ocean
is!
Ring. Oh, but this is a big fight with all the Sivir Ricochet damage.
That's a steal and
Bird going down
potentially
as
a
well. Double
5-man
kill
wipe.
for Abarn, but he gets charmed out. He's going to get one shot again by Wojtek.
Swiss Army cabinet showing again his value with that Thresh Q.
Yeah, he's just playing extremely well. But it
And
looks
they're
like the
gonna look
side
to
of Team
snowball
Front
this
to Back
right
are gonna
into an
grab this
inhib.
inhibitor. Rookstout, man, I
Oh,
believe in
TJ?
you. You can outsmite.
Okay.
You can
Not the inhibitor,
outsmite
maybe.
TJ this game. I believe in you. You do not have to lose every smite fight. You can do it. But it looks
I
like the
think he's
Baron's
just
gonna
trying
be
to build
smited out.
confidence.
TJ
Spirit
really
not
getting the
making
better
a
of him
roll.
on all these smite fights. But Baron started out for Team Front to Back. I don't think there's going to be able to anything really done. Trundle really doing a large amount of work alongside with the Ziggs. That Ziggs is almost out of mana. They could be in trouble here if they're not careful.
Well, it's teleport coming through from Bully.
Oh, and the Spirit Rush by Wojtek looking to try and steal. But here we go. We got a teleport from Bloodbath and Beyond. Infected Bonesaw just connects with the blue buff. Oh,
Oh, a little bit of trapped in the map there. That was
stuck
pretty
between
cool.
a rock and a hard place, I believe it is.
That was pretty interesting.
Interesting interaction. Oh, Bonesaw cannot steal the blue buff. Caridian picks it up. That is crucial for the Ziggs. That is going to be very difficult for the side of Team Dads After Dark for these next couple minutes in terms of sieging. But interestingly, I believe that's a Demonic Embrace picked up by Caridian. Really just prioritizing melting down this front line. The side of Team Dads After Dark.
Definitely
him pick up a-
understandable with that Mundo and Sejuani, right?
Yeah, I'd really like to see him pick up a Void Staff or a form of an anti-heal. As really just a complete lack of it on the side of Team Front to Back, with the risk of an Ocean Soul being on the map as well. But notably for Abarn, Sivir 10-4 with 4 completed items, 5 including boots. He is massive in these fights, and that ricochet damage is going to absolutely melt everyone. Here we go, the inhibitor is under siege. It looks like it's just going to go down for free. Not really a lot that can be done about that for the side of Team Dads After Dark.
Yeah, and they're probably going to turtle this up and hope that that's their only major loss here during this Baron buff.
And it looks like it will be, as that dragon is coming up in just under 2.5 minutes.
A summoner has disconnected.
Spirit of Fate, once again, just disconnecting for fun, and another pause.
Yeah,
Yeah.
looking like some definite,
Connectivity issues.
yeah, for sure, not what we are looking for
But-
here in these games, but
In 2 minutes, I believe we will have our game-deciding fight for this final Ocean Soul Dragon. I mean, it won't spell the end if the side of Team Dads After Dark don't get it, but I can't imagine they're able to win this game without an Ocean Soul at this point.
yeah, and we are looking at an Anathema's Chains, I think, from Blood here.
Yeah, that is correct. Picked up for the side of Blood. Interesting to see who he puts it on. I'd imagine that Sivir gonna provide 30% damage reduction when that item's fully charged against
Right,
his
gotta
nemesis.
believe it would be Sivir, right?
Yeah, I would believe so.
And get an opportunity when the game resumes here, have production take a peek for us.
And I actually just checked.
Okay.
That Anathema's Chain has already reduced 2.7 thousand damage for Bloodbath and Beyond.
Wow.
Just an absurd number already. So that item already more than paying dividends, only costing 2,500 gold as well.
Huge value already from this item.
No, definitely. And Rook Stout really struggling on the Sejuani, only having 2 items and a Negatron Cloak in inventory. But yeah, as it stands, if a fight goes awry for Team Dads After Dark at this next dragon, it may be curtains for them in this game and in this series.
Right, we saw... Alright, and here's a reconnection. We're going to be getting right back into the game here, I've got to believe. We saw what was looking like a pretty convincing comeback from Dads After Dark here. Hopefully hopefully they get a chance to pull out game 2 here and make it a series.
Yeah, no, I
Um,
definitely want to see some more League of Legends getting played between these two teams. Obviously, every game going much longer than most people anticipated, and just being an extremely competitive series all around as we're
a,
finally out of that pause.
a real slugfest, to be sure.
No doubt. Team Dads After Dark, excuse me, as Team Front to Back look to push this bot wave with the last remaining Shriveled Baron. I believe they have around 2 or 3 waves left to push this with, so not a whole lot, but a decent bit, and maybe able to pick up that last inhibitor tower if they can. Here we go as they're going to take out this mid inner, this bot inner.
Right,
Keep on
Dads After
marching
Dark making their way to this bot lane to try to contest this inhib tower going down. That's a lot of damage coming out from that back line.
Swiss in a very dangerous position with that pathing initially. And TJ just walking up to the tower, kind of a risky play by him.
Burning.
Finally
Okay,
pops
wow.
that subjugate against Bloodbath and Beyond, and wow, look at the melting on him. But if I'm Team Dads After Dark, I want to pull the trigger after he wastes that subjugate like that. But the Glacial Prison also being down makes it quite difficult. But here we go.
Definitely a lot
This
of
should be the last
here.
wave of Baron minions pushing in. So if the side of Team Dads After Dark can defend this, and TJ just kind of right-clicking forward, and he's going to be taken down very quickly.
Traded for his things in the tower. A-Barn is doing a lot of damage in this fight, and Bully is stepping up saying, yeah, we want this.
Bloodbath and Beyond popping that Mundo ultimate, gaining all that massive AD steroid, as Bully almost going to get taken down by Wojtek there. Aborn kind of in a sticky situation, getting hit by those bone saws, but he's able to spell shield that next one. And both junglers being down on each side, gonna probably lead to a similar situation as we had at our last dragon fight.
So, what do we think the chances are we see another chains this game coming out from the side of Dads After Dark?
A second Anathema's Chains?
Yeah, maybe from the Sejuani. Might be a little too late in the build path, probably, right?
Yeah, unfortunately with her low eco, it will be difficult to see, but Spirit of Fate might be in a heap of trouble before this next dragon fight, as those goes where he pleases. Mundo just running down Spirit of Fate. I do not care about your damn Dark Bindings. You are going down. And that's going to be a 5v4 for this Ocean Soul point, potentially for Team Dads After Dark.
That can be kind of hard to watch.
Oh, but they're going to opt for the fight, but it looks like Spurg is starting out this dragon.
It's crazy that...
But it looks like they're just taking the fight. They're taking out TJ, and he's one-shot through that subjugate.
Getting picked off early in the beginning.
He was not able to get it off, excuse me. He was not able to pop that onto Blood or Rookstout, so he had no defenses there. And it looks like this dragon's going to go down to 3k outside of a Miracle Steal. Oh, and Caridian just one-shots Wojtek. Sorry, Wojtek one-shots Caridian, and they pick up the Ocean Soul.
This mid-game play from Woj in this game 2 here has been phenomenal.
Wojtek has been nothing short of incredible, as Kled popping that charge to get out of there in a jiffy. Does not want to be caught out with this Baron coming up soon. Oh my, and with Baron coming up in a minute and them having Ocean Soul, this could be a game-changing position for Team Dads After Dark to retake this game.
Yeah, I'm liking this a lot. Blood is showing up in this mid to late game like we were asking for, and Woj is showing up on his opportunity to do so with this Ahri pick. I really like it, and frankly, I mean, at 38 minutes here, I feel like I feel fairly confident in saying with this retrospect here that I think there's a bit of a draft difference.
Yeah, definitely. It's extremely difficult to deal with this Mundo on the side of Team Front to Back. I can't imagine if this goes to a game 3, This is a pick that's available. Here we go, Rookstout coming in. Are we going to see the Glacial Prison coming out? It looks like TJ stunned out, and that Glacial Prison was popped onto him. Rookstout
TJ
just
not
getting
going
absolutely
down early,
one-shot.
gets a lot of...
Bloodbath and beyond,
Wow,
almost
that's
getting taken down. Look at
big...
the Sivir damage. It's insane on top of the Ziggs. And this might be game.
And is this Mundo going to be able to get back and do anything? He's pretty big.
If this Dr. Mundo can't cut this
Oh,
Gamma
that's a
Wave,
big inhib
this
coming
series
up.
might
That's
just be
gonna
over.
delay them for a second here. He gets his back off. Can he clear the wave?
You're going to have to kill this wave if you want a chance. And it
I
looks
don't
like
think
he's just
he
going
can
to
do
get
it.
melted. I think this series is over.
That might just be a flat 2-0
And that's it. Team Front to Back's going to win and take it 2-0.
taking serious issue with my prediction of a Dad's After Dark 2-1 victory, I guess. Wow, really putting it to him there. And despite a really show out from the side of Woj in particular, just not enough to get the job done in this game 2 or in the series.
Yeah, 15-3 on the R. He really played his heart out in this game. And 56,000
Wow.
damage being dealt by the Ziggs there. No surprise there.
You
On
know,
top of
maybe
that,
that tells
Sivir damage of 44,000.
a bit of a story. You know, that damage difference. He's damn near doubling Woj's damage output there.
Yeah, and Caridian being obviously very well known as Mr. Irrelevant in the draft. A
Truly.
guy nobody wanted, but now everybody has to face and lose to. Just very impressive performances by him in both games.
Yeah, and we're seeing some pretty big damage from the side of Blood in that last game, and frankly, a lot less from the Kled, I think, than I was expecting. Granted, not well versed in the ways of the Warmog's first item. I understand now that it works well with the Scarl passive, but
Yes, yes, it does. It does in
maybe
fact
not that
function like that.
not exactly conducive to doing a whole lot of damage, perhaps.
No, not at all. I really would have liked to see Reform Bully try and, you know, bring the match to him early with that TP Ignite, but I thought he played lane very well regardless, was able
Yeah.
to generate a large advantage for his team. Overall, just a very, very good series by Team Front to Back, being able to capitalize on any advantage they were given.
Yeah, despite some shaky team fights, they showed some real ultimately what it comes down to is some real dominance in the series here.
Yeah, definitely. And who do you think would be our MVP for this series?
Oh man, I mean, I feel like the one that sticks out to me here would be, I guess we'll start with two. I'll give it to you. I feel like it's got to be either Caridian or A Barn, right?
Definitely. Definitely.
No, what it comes down to between the two, I mean, I don't know. That Caridian damage in
Yeah, I
that
mean,
last game was really impressive.
I would have to agree. I thought Caridian played insanely well the entire series, but I think we should I think we can give it to A Barn. I think he played very well. I think we can bring him in here, maybe ask him what his team's thoughts were throughout the game.
You know, I think I have to agree with that. And here he is, the Bad Barn himself. How we doing, man? How you feeling? How's the team doing after that big 2-0 win?
Dude, that was a really stressful series. I feel like we kind of came through on a lot of those team fights. Caridian just absolute monster during that. Spirit was like DCing in the middle of those games. Bully game one was like totally in his own head. Like literally every single minute, he was like, "Guys, I'm trolling. I'm so bad." We're like, "No, dude, you're good. Seriously, chill. We're happy." No, I
Yeah.
mean it was a good couple games. I think we had a lot of mental to get through, but we did it, and we're really happy with that win.
Yeah, how did you guys mentally regroup after, a series of Spirit getting picked off and then TJ kind of getting a little overzealous on that dragon fight? You guys lost Ocean Soul to a comp that really utilizes it well. How'd you guys like mentally regroup after that?
I think at that point we were just like, they got the soul, like they're gonna run it down into us. We knew we had some of that late game stuff, but we're like, let's just go on it, see what happens. Like Joa goes in, gets immediately Trundle ulted, and then like TJ flash Qs on him. And the moment that happened, we were like, this is winning, just go, 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 go. And we just went for it. Like I will not lie, we were a little bit tilted during some of that stuff, and just like we all made a lot of mistakes. That's no particular person. but again, came through, hit that last team fight, and then we knew the game was over at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Kled pick up in the top lane, I really liked that counter pick coming out. Is that a pick that Reform Bully has been practicing, or was it a spur of the moment champion he's been comfortable in for a while?
He's played it a few times. We picked it because it gave the grievous wounds on the cube,
Yeah, that bear
and
trap
there's
on a rope.
yeah, and I don't actually get it. He's got that Warmogs tech. Do you guys understand that? Because I don't understand
You
that.
know, that's funny.
Yes,
I was really scratching my head on that one. Like,
it
I get the
functions with the
interaction.
Scarl passive. I thought he
Yeah,
would opt for a more aggressive setup and try and really punish Blood early, but I think that is that's the other side of the matchup you can take, where you build the Warmogs and you just make it impossible for Moon to permatrate into you.
yeah, and that was exactly what it was for. And I think we knew, like, we saw that we have like the most actual beta. Like, we had Silvermore bot lane, and even Spurg hits me up before the game, and he's like, oh come on, you're such a wuss. Like, because hey, we've been hyping this up for a while. We were teammates, and then it was time for this. I switched to ADC just so I could ass blast Spurg on stream. And so it comes, and then we pick Sever Morgana, and I feel him. He was right on that call. So it was fun.
Yeah, no, it looks like you guys were having a good time out there.
We came back together. Like, I think in the past, like, what'll happen is one of us tilts, and then I think like the mood goes kind of down. Like, I think I can actually give TJ a lot of credit, because I think even he, during a lot of the mistakes the rest of us were making, was like just keeping us positive and chilling, whatever. And like, especially, what actually turned around that game one. Like, our mental was kind of going to shit, and then I hit that the Jinx rocket steal on Dragon.
On the
Yeah,
Dragon,
that
yeah,
was
that
one,
was the 2 for 2 on the Super Mega Death Rocket.
and then
That was awesome.
turned around when TJ ran in again and just stole a dragon as well. It completely shifted the tides of the game. Went from a 3-0 possible advantage for Team Dads After Dark to a 2-1 advantage for you guys.
It was. Well, in Spirit was trying so hard to play the Bard again, but we told him, like, dude, if you
Cut him
just play
off.
Morgana, we win. Well, it's like
Yeah, Morgana
you
into
never know which
Thresh.
ones. You never know which Bard ults he's gonna hit. You never know if he's gonna ult you, and it's like, let's just play simply. And so we did that. We love his Bard, but he definitely wants it more than pretty much anyone else in the league wants it, except for our enemy team.
I'd
They
say
want to
just
play
Definitely.
Bard.
about everybody watching is looking for a good, interesting Bard game as well, too. I wouldn't underestimate the fan factor there.
You're completely correct.
Definitely.
Exactly.
Well, you and your team played great, A-Barn. Thanks for doing this interview with us.
Hey, thank you guys. Great production. Thank you guys, as always, for stepping up. Thanks for everyone who was watching. We had a lot of fun, and thank you to the enemy team for being good sports and playing a good game.
All right. Have a good night, man.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, and that will just about wrap it up for us on production side. In terms of our match tomorrow, we have the Kangaroo Corral versus the Footlongs. Will be at 7 p.m. Central, 8 Eastern. Should be quite a big matchup. Obviously, the Kangaroo Corral really being able to use a win, given their last couple weeks, and Footlongs coming off a rough loss, should be a great series.
Yeah, definitely looking for some big plays coming out tomorrow night. Definitely tune in. It should be an exciting one.
Yeah, well, thank you for all the viewers for coming out tonight. Thank you for Droid, our production, and from us to you, have a good one.